Greetings, folks. I actually come to you again amidst of some comments and everything that I've been getting from that video that I did regarding Tommy Sotomayor and black women. Even though I really haven't been saying much about it, since I made the video and the follow-up video, which I labeled "You Prove My Point" or something like that, I've been actually getting a lot of comments, pretty much direct messages, pretty much sent to me by black women, for the most part, actually wanting to offer or actually somehow justify their reasons as to why they keep actually engaging in Tommy Sotomayor and his comments, when he talks about black women in his videos. And for the most part, again, I left the situation alone for the most part, but I actually wanted to do another video of sorts for the most part because of this comment that was actually left in my inbox here in Gmail when I actually was going through, and just kind of reading my email. That's kind of a thing that I do every day. Everybody has their own routines of what they do. I check Facebook, on email and stuff like that. And for the most part, I was surprised because when I actually read this comment here, it was pretty much, I was right on point with the follow-up video that I made after I made this particular video when I was talking about Tommy Sotomayor and black women. And in that video, again, I offered pretty much real world, I guess, solutions and explanations and such as to, why women who think that they have the need to actually continue to engage someone, why it actually makes them look weak more than what they would actually want to actually have the YouTube community think. And for the most part, with this particular comment, it proved everything that I said. So, I mean, like I said, when I actually got this comment and I actually wanted to kind of black out the person's name, and I kind of wanted to research them a little bit here. To no surprise, they don't have any picture. All they have is just some sort of generic name or whatever the case may be. But I can pretty much tell, and it's a safe bet that this is for the most part a black woman. Or again, someone who may be, I don't know, masquerading as being black, because we have a lot of those type of issues going on YouTube as well. But again, I let you read it for yourself, and like I say, and when I actually got through reading this, I was pretty much kind of justified in pretty much what I was saying when I actually did those two videos. When you're talking about angry black women and for the most part their need to actually want to address Tommy Sotomayor and his in his behaviors and his speech in regards to how he thinks and how he feels about black women. And one of the main things about it, again, is that, as I said in the first video here that I did, is that, or if I didn't say it, maybe I'll go ahead and say it now, which I'm pretty sure I did say it, but you cannot change someone's opinion about a person, or how they think about you as a gender and such like that. And for the most part, a lot of people want to sit there and point fingers and say, Tommy Sotomayor is this, Tommy Sotomayor is that, and everything like that, without actually really taking self-inventory of themselves as well and what they actually do to actually, I guess have this particular type of behavior backlash on them. Now, that is not for me to say at all that I actually, am a supporter of Tommy Sotomayor, because I'm not. Like I say, I think some of his videos, again, most of them are a bit biased, and some of them, again, as I stated before, they have a point to them, and it's those videos that I like to watch. But one thing about it, again, is that, Tommy Sotomayor, again, is a very controversial person. Sometimes some people call him, Mr. Controversy, I think it is. But and I think he looks at that as a compliment, because he knows that folks are actually, are wanting to hear what he has to say. They want to know what is his opinions. That's the reason why he has a lot of people that actually brings him news clips, news articles, and, different things of that nature that has to do with the black community, especially when there's something that is not, for the most part, something good. But one of the interesting parts about it, though, is that when I actually begin to do this particular video, and I'm sure that I'm probably opening up a Pandora's box, and I don't really care, because again, if I'm confident in something, I'm going to go ahead and speak it regardless of who likes it or not. That's just the way that I roll. But for the most part, when I was actually doing videos here, or actually coming up with a way to actually bring this information across to the YouTube community, there was some videos that I actually ran across, and like I said, there are tons and tons of videos that one could actually have, or that has been done, where they were actually in defense of, or in defense of black women. Some of them were done by men, and now that'll be I guess a video of a later, sometime later down the road. But the ones that I actually saw, again, were ones of women, and for the most part, these were just, for the most part, the highlights of the ones that I actually saw that I thought that was a bit, how can I say, some of it was actually very informative, and some of them were very comical. I'll put it like that. It's kind of like a 50-50 type of thing. And for the most part, you know, a lot of it I did get a, you know, a deeper understanding for the most part. Not that I really needed any with how most black women think, but it's just the fact that you would be surprised at, you know, how many women, you know, that are at different parts of, in different walks of life, would actually engage in someone as simple as Tommy Sotomayor. You know, this again, Mr. Controversy, he is actually able to touch almost every black female on almost every level of their lives. And for the most part, you had a lot of them, young and old, that were wanting to turn on that video camera and actually chime in to kind of give them a quote unquote piece of their mind. You know, some of it, you know, was a bit outlandish. Some of it was, you know, very animated. And some of it, again, was, in my opinion, you know, a bit, you know, more grounded, you know, and have a lot more weight to it. But in either case, though, it's just the fact that anytime he says something, there's a whole group of females that are just waiting to engage. That's just, it's like that's their life work. They're just waiting for him to make the next video where they can go up there and let the world know how disgusted and how this and how they don't like him and stuff like that. If you don't like the fella and his material that he puts out, the most common sense approach would be not to watch his information, which of course is something that I said as well. But what you have to understand is that there are some times, you know, where Tommy Sotomayor may, you know, receive a message or a comment or something like that where he may feel the need to address, you know, folks and stuff like that. And then again, in the midst of him addressing folks like that, you know, again, he puts out, you know, and say some things that I think that may be a little bit over the top. But again, you cannot really stop someone from actually speaking their mind. And that's pretty much what he does. And you can pretty much say with a safe bet is that he really does not care how his words affect you as black women. I mean, that's not on his agenda. That's not a part of his problem. That's something that you as a black woman have to deal with according to his way of thinking. I'm only assuming this thing because, again, I'm not him, he's not me. But the thing about it, again, is that what he says is that, you know, he thinks that black women are disgusting, they're vile, and he said some things in the past that I thought was a bit over the top where, you know, he wished they would die and all this other type of stuff. I mean, those are pretty harsh words. I mean, and like I say, anybody with any type of normal intelligence would, you know, kind of wonder, you know, what's going on with this fellow. What has a black woman done to him, you know, in his childhood? But you know what? There was actually a video that I actually saw on YouTube that I think that pretty much summarizes every single thing that I actually said about black female for the most part, and how, you know, irrational they can be, and how, you know, they can be just as, how can I put, childish maybe, as they would claim Tommy Sotomayor to be. And I want you to actually listen to this clip because the way that this young lady talks, she reveals a whole lot about herself, you know, from what, you know, and really what you have to do is you have to really look deeper in and look past her words, because basically, from my understanding, you know, it's like she's grabbing at straws. But I'll go ahead and let you all listen to it, and you all can come up with your own opinions yourself, okay? All right, here's the clip.
This video is to address a YouTube user named Mr. Sotomayor. I have to address him because I'm going to actually talk to him like he's an ignorant nigga, because that's exactly what he is. Okay? And when I say the word nigga, I call white people nigga, I call Mexican people nigga. The word nigga means an ignorant person, and this motherfucker is actually ignorant, so I'm gonna say he's an ignorant nigga. Now, with that being said, this is to address his video about black women not liking themselves or not being satisfied with themselves because they are constantly wearing hair weaves, or because they're not happy with the way that they are. Well then, if that's the case, boo-boo, just stop, because I'm about to cut into you. See, this is why your ass is with a white woman now, because you can't handle a black woman, because a black woman will cut into your stupid ass, okay? A black woman will cut into you, and I really feel sorry that you have a daughter, because you're a fucking ignorant motherfucker, okay? Now, with that being said, weaves have dated back to ancient Egyptian time. Look it up, it's on eHow. That's what the internet is for before you open up your stupid ass fucking mouth. Okay? Weaves have been worn by all people, but because black women wear weaves, they're not happy with themselves. Really? Seriously? See, what you fail to realize is it's not a black thing. It's a woman thing. Because what all women in this world, black, white, Asian, Mexican, have in common is we don't like to look like each other. We like to look different. We like to change the way we look every now and again. That's why women go and shave their heads, get the mohawk style, or change their color. It's not about a black thing. It's about a woman wanting to look different from someone else. So your ignorant ass is using this whole "you're not happy with yourself" bullshit to create controversy and to get video views. That's what you're doing. And I really kind of didn't want to do a video responding to your ignorant ass because this is exactly what you fucking want. But I think it needs to be said. I've heard the brothers online cutting into you, but it's about time that a sister, a real sister, cut into your stupid ass. Please shut the fuck up talking about women. Please shut the fuck up talking about black women. Don't talk about any woman because you're stupid and you show your fucking ignorance when you get on YouTube and you talking all this stupid shit. Okay, you just need to let it go. Talk about some constructive shit. So why is it that you're just? Why do you hate black women so much? I bet that you just couldn't handle a black woman, and that's why your ass is with a white woman now. I don't have no problem with that. My brother-in-law is white. My sister married a white man. Okay, so I don't have no problem with that. There's no problem with that. But at the same time, you're full of shit. You're talking shit about weaves, like white people don't wear weaves either. Jessica Simpson has a hair weaving line. Sarah Jessica Parker wore extensions numerous times on the Sex and the City show. All celebrities wear weave. Black, white, whatever. They all wear weave. It's a luxury. So why is it that when a black person wears weave, it's, oh, you don't like your hair, you hate yourself. Really? We hate ourselves, really? So I guess everybody that wears a weave hate themselves, right? That's fucking stupid. Just shut the fuck up because you show your goddamn ignorance. It's not a black thing. It's a woman thing. I found a video of a white girl on YouTube talking about her box braids. Box braids, if don't nobody know what box braids are a commonly worn hairstyle, braided style for black women. But because she's white, she really stands out with her box braids, and go on, girl, with your box braids. It don't have nothing to do with her hating her white heritage. She just wants to look fucking different. What's the fucking problem? I don't see you making a video about her or any white person that's wearing their hair in braids. So just shut the fuck up, seriously. I mean, because it needs to be fucking said. I've never seen no fucking ignorance like this in my life, and your dumb ass is doing it for views and to raise controversy with black women. And you know black women is gonna cuss you out, and they may get on your channel acting ignorant and cussing you out and stuff. But you know what? I'm gonna make a video response, and I'm gonna cut into your sorry ass because you just need to be cut into. You need to talk about stuff that's relevant and stuff that you know what you're talking about, period. Oh, white women don't wear weaves? Really? So I guess when Britney Spears shaved her fucking head and a week later she had a full hair of hair going down her back, that wasn't a weave. She naturally grew that, right? No, you fucking dumbass. It was a wig. And if you don't know what a wig is a hat made of weave. White women wear the shit too, okay? Just for the fuller look. They like to have their hair full sometimes, and that's why they have white hair extensions. They cannot get their extensions put in like black people do, because most black people, when they get weaves put in, they're usually getting it sewed in. White people can't get sew-ins because their hair does not hold braids like black people hair does. You just, coming from a beautician, because I do beautician work on the side, I know my shit, sweetheart. I know my shit, boo-boo. So please just do not come into my field talking about some shit that you don't have no clue about. You have no clue about it, period. In this video, I'm going to include in the description all celebrities that has worn weave with no problem. I guess Beyonce don't like who she is, huh? Tyra Banks don't like who she is. None of these black influential artists and people, celebrities that are wearing weave, Brandy, even though her weaves are braids at the majority of the time, I guess she don't like being black. Shut the fuck up. It don't have shit to do with being black. It's a woman thing. Women like to change their shit, okay? Period. I don't care what color you are. This is why white women dye their hair every other month, or, or get their perms to make their shit curly, or get their weaves to make their shit longer. Because while white women do have straight hair, I know a lot of white women get the weaves just for the length because their hair won't grow long, okay? And then what about the black women? Not all black women, when they get fucking weaves, not all black women get straight white Caucasian weave put in their hair. I mean, a lot of them do, but what about the people that's actually buying Afro kinky hair to do their kinky twist and to have a more natural African look, or their dreadlocks and stuff, to start their dreadlocks? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, dude. Seriously. You need to delete this motherfucking video, and I will be posting it to my black and white friends on Facebook. And I'll make sure that I tell them to thumbs down this bitch, because you're a bitch and you need to be called out on your shit. Just you know what? Just shut the fuck up. I can't stress that enough. I hate ignorant niggas, and you one of them. I hate it when a nigga make me come out, bring this shit out. I just hate that. But your ass need to be cut into for that video, boo-boo. Fucking ignorant motherfucker.
Now, after listening to that particular clip, for the most part, the only thing that I can actually come away with is just a couple of adjectives, and the adjectives that I actually have in mind are not really the most, I would say, the most appropriate, I guess, that I could use to actually describe this particular young lady and her response to Tommy Sotomayor. And see, one thing about it again is that when you're actually, for the most part, most black women, and I hate to use this particular phrase here, most black women, when they're actually called on the carpet about something, for the most part, not all, they always bring into the fact about what white women are doing and such like that, which of course, to me is like, okay, that is the biggest thing that irks me to no end. We're not dealing with white folks, we're only talking about black women, the black culture. So what we need to do is try to keep it centered and really talk about black issues, relationship between black men and black women. But for the most part, when I actually listened again to that video through and through, all I heard was foul language. I didn't hear any intelligence in there at all. All I heard was pretty much four-letter words, and the part about it is that she really wanted to kind of hit Tommy Sotomayor under the belt by trying to undermine his intelligence. Now, those are the only things really, for the most part, that I actually picked up on. Now, of course, you may have some other folks that may listen to her video or to this video and may come away with something different. That's fine. All of us are different individuals. We have our different way of thinking. We interpret information differently. But what I'm trying to get to the fact about is that this lady actually she didn't really want to leave the video without actually wanting to kind of make Tommy Sotomayor, I guess, feel a little under her feet. She wanted to put him under her feet and make him feel as if he doesn't know exactly what he's talking about. And and I think that she felt like she did a great job, and like I say, to each his own. But see, one thing about it again is that in that last video that I had did, where I knew that you approved my point. I think I can't even remember my own videos, but the last video that I did in response to the Tommy Sotomayor video is where I actually went in and actually wanted them to really understand the fact that when you actually keep engaging someone, you're not really actually showing them any type of classy kind of classy representation of the average black woman, especially when you're using four-letter words and everything like that to try to express a point. And as I said, what the issue is that, ignorance is being returned to ignorance. I don't see any class, I don't see any intelligence in what this woman particularly said. I mean, she tried to sound intelligent, yes, I'll give her that. But for the most part, you could tell that during the end parts there, she was kind of grabbing at straws, and for the most part was just kind of just thinking things in just to kind of throw in there to try to somehow validate her argument, which I think she really did a piss poor job. But like I say, that's just me talking. That is just my opinion. And like I said, this is my video. I can say what I want to say. But for the most part, my whole point was that there was no need to actually get up there and try to engage someone when they're actually only expressing their opinion. And see, my whole point about it is that what we have to understand is that YouTube is nothing more than folks that want to express their philosophy, their ideas, their opinions about whatever the subject matter is that's at hand. But see, one thing about it is that for the black folks, we just don't get it. And I think, again, in black women, most of them, they are just even further behind the concept, than black men, in my opinion. Even though you do have some black men that execute, qualities and, and feminine traits, and they can take it, and you would think that you're conversating with a black female when you're actually conversating with a black man. But that's beside the point. But the fact about it is that what we have to know is that YouTube is nothing more than someone's philosophy or someone's opinion about something. It doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It's just their take, their interpretation of how they view things. And see, one thing about it, again, is that I believe that we actually have this big push on black women wanting to stand up and be counted, all for the simple fact of the notion that they actually have a black woman in the White House. Which, of course, again, comes up with, this, which leads to the I guess, disheartening belief of, being strong, black, independent, outspoken, and all this other type of stuff. And see, one thing about it, they don't understand something. This black woman that's in the White House, she does not have any type of connection with you individual black women. So I don't understand why they want to use her as a backdrop for this particular behavior here on YouTube. Because I've actually ran across a couple of, comments and such like that where, Michelle Obama was brought into the conversation. And I'm like, what in the world does this woman have to do with what we're talking about? And that lends me to believe that a lot of this outspoken, not wanting to, have the last, wanting everything to be on their terms, not wanting to listen to somebody else's point of view, has a lot to do with the fact that they have a black woman in the White House. But what they don't understand is that this woman does not know who you are. She does not even want to get to know who you are. All she wants to do is sit up there and glamorize and pretty much let the world know that this is the era of what? Black women. And this is time for black women to take the role in the leading roles in the household and everything like that. But yet still, they don't understand. While she's sitting up there preaching all of this garbage to you and you're believing this, she's going and living in that nice White House that she has while you're still in your house in Section 8 eating pork and beans. But see, what we have to understand is that, even though we have Michelle Obama in the White House and that was used as a backdrop to solidify their arguments and their hatred of black men, this is like something that's kind of constant now. Like every time you have a black man that posts something on YouTube, somewhere along the line, a black female is going to find some sort of way to discredit what he's saying. And like I say, and deep down, you will know that it's the truth. But the thing about it is that you will always have that opposing viewpoint. And like I say, I don't want to turn this into a black women bashing video. But what we have to understand is that every time a black man says something that you don't like, that doesn't mean that you actually have to turn on your YouTube video or your video camera and always, engage him. I mean, like I say, it's like you're barking in his ear, and next thing you know, you're not saying anything that's new. You're only saying something that's that is already been said by somebody else, and it doesn't actually really add any type of new meaning or new level of understanding to what's being said. Sometimes, you have some females that get to the point where they get so emotional where they're about to shed tears over, what somebody says. And the sad part about this whole YouTube experience is that you have a lot of black women that will base their self-esteem based on what somebody else has to say to them through a video camera. And see, one thing about it, again, is that for somebody like that, they really don't need to use technology at all. Because, again, in this walk of life, you're going to always have someone that's going to be there to try to tear you down, to try to say that you're not good enough, to try to tell you that you're not worthy enough. But one thing about it is that black females, I know they're the most emotional beings. We understand women are built, they're built that way. But when you have that extra point where No one can disagree with you. What you said have to always be right. And if you have someone that deviates and want to actually bring their own level of understanding, you begin to attack. And not only do you start to attack him as a person, you attack their sexuality and everything like that, as if that has anything to do with it. And of course, you have some men that actually do that as well, but yet still, I digress. But what we have to understand is that Tommy Sotomayor's opinions are just his opinions. It has nothing to do, or it has anything to do with your attack on your type of womanhood or what you want to represent yourself to be. The fact that you are actually allowing this fellow to infiltrate your brains and say this thing to get you to the point of wanting to get on a YouTube channel and air out your grievances, trying to, I guess, demystify all of his opinions, lets me know that at some level or another he may have a point. And like I said, and the sad part about it is that, Tommy Sotomayor, he just doesn't only talk about black women. He talk about white women too. I mean, in some of his videos, he does. I saw some of them where he actually talked about it, But for the most part, white women are not tripping on what he's saying, because for the most part, they already know what they have and what they can offer. You don't see too many of them getting on there offering or sending videos back to Tommy Sotomayor talking about, you are wrong for saying this, you are wrong for saying that. You don't have anybody for the most part that is in defense of the black woman except for the black woman. So that lets me know right there we have an issue. We have another issue. One thing about it again is that when you're confident in yourself, when you're confident in what you're saying, you don't have to sit there and constantly go with this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I have yet to see any white person, there may be a few, but I have yet to see any sort of, white man, white woman, or whatever the case may be, that is going to continue to turn on a video camera. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, and sit up there for hours and hours on end trying to put together a video to try to get back at somebody to hit them below the belt. I mean, you will not hardly ever see that in the white community, but you do see it amongst black women for the most part. Most of them, you will see that. And every time you engage this fella, you're not going to come away, with, a feeling of gratitude, because guess what? He's going to come back and say something else to kind of give a new low. And next thing you know, here you go all depressed again. How in the world can he talk about me like this? I cannot sit there and allow this to happen. And here you go again. It's another cycle. So what we have to understand is that, we have to kind of know, and the sad part about it is that, and it's a sad thing when you actually have to have somebody else tell you as a black woman on how to value yourself and how not to degrade yourself. Because one thing about it is that whenever you're confident in yourself, and whenever you actually see that it doesn't matter what a black man has to say about me, I know my self-worth and what I can contribute to the household, in society, and on my job or wherever else, you will look at his words and really just laugh. And you will look at it and actually look at that as him being a bitter black man. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave it short like this, and I hope that you all got something out of this, because again, it's a sad thing when I actually have to come back and keep revisiting different subjects and such. And I don't mind doing it, but it's like I would think that you would get it by now, But I guess in some cases, I guess it's up to the person that's listening as to whether or not they're going to really choose to really understand what I'm saying. Confidence is not something that you actually have to speak up for. It's shown. You can't help but see it. Insecurity always has a need to explain itself. Peace out, folks.